till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we gon' hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we...
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch the run, watch the run.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Second and 6 at the 36-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Looking to throw. Ambrose. And this one caught by Max Williams. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Switch. Check 4.
Jackson now off the bootleg. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the out, watch the out. Go. Watch the twist. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Check 3, check 4. Check.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Des Bryant, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They go draw play. This is Samuels. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
First carry for James Conner. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 47-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a give, right side. Foreman. Oh, he sheds himself free. A big-time ramble there by Foreman. 47 yards on the ground. Great run there, but it looked like they were going to have him for the stop. He was able to push through. They didn't wrap up defensively.
No, they didn't. All credit to the runner for making it happen, breaking through some contact and going a long way. But the defensive guys, when they watch this on tape, they're not going to be real happy with themselves. They had a great opportunity that they let slip through their hands.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. 2nd and 6. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Bynes, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. J.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And And his kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
The 43-yard line.
Here we go. 60 yards. It's a party now. It's a party now. Let it go.
Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 39. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Check.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Room here to run. That good for 22 and a first down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Let's go. 36. Tighten up.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. On the counter, Ingram. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will tie us at 3-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Raekwon McMillan gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A carry for Foreman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On third down, Foreman. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
To throw is Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Jackson. Complete to Bryant. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. Dez Bryant with nothing but green grass ahead of him. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Dez Bryant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. 2nd and 1. Big loss here as he's taken down. J.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. On 3rd down, Foreman. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. From the gun, it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Check. Read. Check out. Read. Over. Motion.
Jackson now. Throwing again. Towards the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown. His 5th touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Escaping the pressure right. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back to throw. Ambrose. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Ambrose. From the gun, he'll throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Man, I got you.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll look to run with England, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Ingram with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker now for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Watch the screen.
Now Ambrose to throw from the gun on 3rd down. And off the deflection, it's caught. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They call it a loss of a yard there.
Sometimes it pays to be lucky rather than good. That was not even the intended receiver on that pass.
But still able to haul it in for the reception. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Switch. Watch that.
They're going to try and throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tyus Bowser. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
They'll run on first down. It's Ingram. Ingram's got the first down and more. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Watch the shot. Check three.
They'll run here with Ingram. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a second and goal.
At the 4-yard line.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And that is going to set up third and goal.
Here we go. Hey, no. Let's go. Hey, switch it. Come on.
They'll try and run. Ingram. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settled for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. You end up having to take 3 there.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100. Yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On second down, Foreman. A gain there of 21 yards.
A gain of 21 yards. First down, Pittsburgh.
Here we go. 6 yards.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Foreman. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
I'm coming.
They'll run with Foreman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That second down play nets a -4. The Steelers on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. On third down, it's Connor. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now it's Ingram. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, Ingram, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They toss to Ingram. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, watch it. Jim.
On third down, it's Ingram. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Ready? Check Mike 57. Watch QB.
Now Foreman. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Samuels going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Ready. 18 Gator. 49. Watch the screen. Pass. Ready.
And they will take a knee here. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Baltimore, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it's yet another loss as they've started